A real special treat on the morning show part 2. I've got someone pretty famous to visit with us here this morning, and he's coming to Westbrook this weekend. His name is Dave Bickler, and he was in a group called Survivor. Of course, he is the headliner at the Keeping Up the Courage concert as a part of Westbrook Fun Days this weekend. Dave, good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning to everyone.
What a pleasure to have you here on the morning show part 2. I grew up in the 80s, so I had Survivor cassettes, and I think I still got them somewhere, to tell you the truth.
You know, I don't have a cassette anymore. I've got some vinyl laying around someplace, but the cassettes, no, lost.
Yeah, well, Survivor is a big name from the 80s, and your song, Eye of the Tiger, I mean, that's got to be one of a handful of songs that says it's the 80s. I mean, it really defined that generation and that decade.
I guess so, yeah. It's a zombie, it can't be killed. Because the motivational aspect of it, I guess, always keeps working for people, and we did a TV thing yesterday, and there was some young kids came in, they were watching, and they asked him, "Do you know Eye of the Tiger?" And they go, "Oh yeah!" The little kids, they all, somehow they all, it resonates with them. So there you go.
Well, Dave Bickler of Survivor, of Eye of the Tiger, and other songs, too, joins us. He'll be in Westbrook this weekend, and I'm thinking, okay, you're coming to Westbrook. That's got to be small-town Minnesota shock for you, but you've got some roots here in Minnesota, and it's probably going to feel a little bit like home.
Absolutely. I'm a small-town kid. I did a lot of growing up from, like, when I was, in kindergarten to when I was in the 3rd grade in Wilmer, Minnesota. And I have... that's where when I first, that's what that time in your life when you first get memories, stuff that you remember things, and so I have just a ton of memories of growing up there. It was really great.
Well, good, great to have you back. And then I know your travels took you to Chicago, and that's probably what eventually led to Survivor being in the big city.
Well, yeah, I mean, Chicago was a great place for me because I played in bands, and eventually, because of doing that, somebody noticed me, and I got into doing, commercials, and that's how I met Jim Peterick, the guy who founded Survivor, and he was, he had previously been in a band called the Ides of March, and so he asked me to, sing and put the band together, and it was in the right place in the right time, for me.
Dave Bickler joins us on the morning show part 2. We're super excited to have him in Westbrook for Fun Days this weekend and the Keeping Up the Courage concert. And you're going to hear Eye of the Tiger and some of the other great songs from Survivor, but I'm excited about the fact I heard you're going to do some Beatles songs this weekend too. Yeah, well, that's it's formative for me, the Beatles. It's a cliche, but for me it's true. I was with my dad at 11 years old, watching the Beatles and Ed Sullivan, and it was just like getting hit by lightning in my head because I just wanted to be those guys. Right.
I mean, that was the coolest thing I ever saw. My dad was going, "What in the hell is this?"
Well, as a huge Beatles fan, I got to ask you, what's your top 1 or 2 Beatles songs?
Oh, boy. There's so many, but Strawberry Fields.
Right.
It's always one of my. This is such a strange, unusual song. But I like pretty much everything those guys did. But that is, it was funny about that because Strawberry Fields and Penny Lane were a single. At that time, the record company, EMI, they never put the singles on the albums. So it was during Sgt. Pepper, they recorded those, but they didn't make it onto the album because they didn't allow that. They wanted to have a single sales, sell 45. So it was like, that was just an amazing flip-flop of a record, 2 incredible songs that I really love.
Hey, who else are you singing with this weekend in Westbrook? I know the Nectarines are going to be there.
Yeah, the Nectarines are going to play, and Stephanie Verone and Headliner. The band is named Headliner, and Stephanie, she plays with those guys, and so she'll be there doing her own thing, and she'll be helping me out in my set. So it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, some real talent on the stage in Westbrook, which is a really, really small town. But I think it's going to be very filled up this weekend. Now, this whole Keeping Up the Courage concert started 4 years ago, and I'm sure you're going to meet Kate Jorgensen this weekend. You're going to meet a fantastic girl. What an amazing story, and what a great... You talk about Eye of the Tiger being a motivational song. She has been very motivational for a lot of people here.
I would say so. Yeah, that's really rising up, and it's over adversity, that's for sure.
And now the whole concert is giving back. The first year was for Kate, and now they're giving back and they're handing out scholarships. It's really been fun to see what's happening with this, and we're glad that you're going to be a part of it. Now, something Mike told me yesterday, it's the 35th anniversary of Rocky III, where, of course, Eye of the Tiger was featured in. That seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, it sure does. 35 years, yeah, it's hard to believe, but yeah, it is kind of amazing. Well, I'm pretty amazed. You could knock me over with the feather then if you had told me I'd be talking to anybody about it this many years later.
Did you ever get to meet Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, one time.
Nice.
After we put Eye of the Tiger together, and we went out to work on our album, and it was getting ready for the movie release. We went and met him at his studio in Santa Monica to look at the song against the film, cut against the film. And he was just really nice and really funny, and very complimentary. He said, "You guys are great. I love this. It's just the perfect thing." And it really did fit in just perfectly. It was written specifically for it, so I mean, it was no accident. But
and then you beat him in arm wrestling, right?
I don't think so. And people may not realize too just how smart that guy is. He's really smart. He's no dummy.
Dave Bickler is our guest, and he's going to be in Westbrook this weekend for Fun Days and the Keeping Up the Courage concert on Saturday night. By the way, we've got advance tickets here at the station, and you can save a few bucks by getting advance tickets. You can get them at the tent or at the door there on Saturday night, but swing up here, and we've got a pair that you could win tomorrow here on the morning show. So it's going to be a great time. Talked a lot about Eye of the Tiger, but I got to tell you, I love the song "Can't Hold Back." I hope that you'll be doing that one this weekend.
Absolutely. Well, it's an homage to my dear friend Jimmy, who so sadly passed away in 2014. Because we were really great friends. So it's an honor for me to sing that song. For him, because he's never very far from my thoughts. He's just a great guy.
High on You is another great Survivor song. I mean, there's plenty to choose from.
Yeah.
And wasn't Can't Hold Back, wasn't that in the Paul Blart Mall Cop movie?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was.
That's interesting. I didn't know that. Because it wasn't mine, so I didn't,
right.
Wasn't aware of it. But that's cool.
Well, Dave, we really look forward to you being in Westbrook. We hope you have a safe trip down here, and you're going to see how Small Town USA parties. And we just really appreciate you being part of the event.
I'm down with it, man.
All right, Dave, have a safe trip, and we'll see you soon.
All right, thanks very much.